Hey guys, welcome to our top 10 best movies of 2022. Doing it laid back again. Got all three boys here to tell you what movies you need to go out and see right now if you haven't seen them. So I've got a list of 10. The boys have lists of 5, maybe a little more. Just speak up when it is your number. Okay.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is Avatar: Way of the Water. Obvious. This is the biggest film, right? It made the most money. It's now at $2 billion plus. Never bet against James Cameron. Everybody thought this thing would bomb. I also thought that it wouldn't do very well until it started to lead up and release. I'm like, you know what? This thing is going to do well. And then when I saw it, I'm like, you know what? This is a good enough story. I went in with lowered expectations. I'm not going to like it. And I liked it. It was like a cross between like a fucking National Geographic nature documentary right there in the middle. Now, some people might find that boring or dragging, but I just enjoyed being in the world. And I think that's the point he's trying to make. You can tell that James has passion within this particular area of water. He loves the water stuff and his submarines. I thought, so having Na'vi fight Na'vi, different Na'vi tribes. I thought it was well done, and I liked it better than the first. The only problem is there's some story bits towards the end where like the Na'vis kind of disappear and they don't help in the fight and stuff like that. But overall, I was like, yeah, this is good, and I'd be up for watching another. Remember, he wanted a total of 5, so now he's got 2, and since this one made $2.2 billion, I'm pretty sure we're going to go ahead and move forward with, I don't know, Avatar: Way of the Fire. We're going to go to the
Fire Nation Attacks, yeah.
The Fire Nation Attacks, yeah. So that is my number 10. Okay.
Number 9.
Moving on to number 9. This is a surprise on Hulu. We have Hellraiser. Hellraiser, of course, based on one of my favorite horror films is the 1987 British supernatural horror film. Was bloody, was gross, was evil and hell. I love it. I loved Pinhead. And this is Clive Barker. Stories based and Clive Barker helped direct. And, I just love the Cenobites, the puzzle box. And so I was a little worried, how this was going to go. They announced a female Pinhead. And, anytime you reboot these kinds of things, it can lead to, some successes and some not so successes. And truly within the Hellraiser franchise, there have just been shitty films. I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 now with the newest. And I gotta say, besides Hellraiser 1 and 2, I think Hellraiser 2022 on Hulu is about it comes next. Just well acted, got the mythos right, kind of expanded on the puzzle box and the configurations. There's a right amount of gore. There's it's a little hard to hear the Cenobites sometimes because of the voice effects that they put on them. But overall, I had a lot of fun with Hellraiser as a horror movie, and it's a good reason to have Hulu, which I have Spotify, and I think my Hulu came with the Spotify. I don't know if they still do that, but that's why I still have that. So I liked Hellraiser.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Smile. Now, this is a horror film I went to, after it came out. We didn't go see it together. I saw it with my girlfriend, and the trailer looked cheesy, stupid. Smile. They even had advertisements at baseball games where you just like smiling in the background, just being creepy. And I was like, what's that other film? Because there was another one like this, Social Media something. And it was like, it was almost like this. And I was like, it was awful. And so I was like, I'm not going to buy into this. Okay, so finally, I heard good things from it. And I went and saw it. And it is good, guys. This was originally set for Paramount Plus, but then they opted to release it theatrically after positive test screenings. They're like, "Oh shit, we got a hit on our hands. Well, let's not relegate it to Paramount Plus." So, it's grossed now $216 million on a $17 million budget.
There's going to be a Smile 2.
Unfortunately, which probably we don't need, because I think that this is a nice, cool, self-contained story. What it does best is it gets that creepy tension, and often the moments in between the scary bits or the payoffs in these horror movies are really weak, right? Weak acting, boring story, get to the point. Smile actually does those moments fairly fascinating, and you're wondering more about it. So I recommend y'all see it. Anybody else, check it out if they have some time. So that was my number 8. We are moving in to number 7.
Number 7.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. I was so looking forward to this being a hit because you have Michelle Yeoh. It's got Daniel Kwan directed by, written by, produced by. So this is a passion project for this guy, and it's got a lot of people that we know: Jamie Lee Curtis, Short Round. So just fantastic, and it's really a success story for everybody who is involved in it. She's a leading lady. Michelle Yeoh is like, how's this going to work? She's older. It's not necessarily, what standard Hollywood would think, could pull, but that's not what it's about. It is just a comedy, surreal comedy. There's action in it. There's science fiction. There's martial arts. There's fantasy elements. There's so much in it, and even animation too. And I just thought it was a well-executed, creative story. And I love these was this an A24?
I think so.
A24, yeah. This one had a budget of $14 million, and it made $107 million. So I'm very happy. I think at the time they said it was their most successful A24 film. So because A24 films, usually don't generate all that much, but I think this is one of the more successful ones. So I really enjoy that. The plot is touching, the action's good, the characters, all the actors, and it's well written. So highly recommend Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. All right, moving into. Do you have one for 7?
No.
Moving into number 6.
Number 6.
This is another Hulu exclusive, and so really, I think 2022 was a very good year for Hulu. Got some value out of my subscription when I normally don't even fucking turn that app on. This one I did for MODOK and Hitmonkey, those animations, but this one is Prey. So we've had recent Predator films, right, Joe?
Yep, I remember.
And they didn't work out. Some hit, some, and when they hit, they just hit with a. Oh, okay. It's all right. But this one, I think, was creative enough while also staying true to what made the original interesting. Kind of isolating you, keeping it grounded. You've got American Indians taking on the Predator. Of course, it's a female. A lot of people are like, how the hell is she going to fight Predator? She's going to get beat up and that kind of stuff. But wits. That's what it's always been about. It's and I think it's well executed. They've got several scenes where he's fighting nature and shit. He's a hunter, so he's going to fight bears and I thought it was well executed. I think it did very well for Hulu. Was a success. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Of course, we had Amber Midthunder, who is a standout in the role. Definitely believed it towards the end. On a budget of $65 million, so they definitely spent some money on it. And I don't see the box office, but from what I heard, it did well enough to where they're thinking about doing future films. So, yes, sir. So that's my number 6.
My number 6 is going to be X. I like that one. It's a nice slasher one.
You saw X, huh?
Yes, I saw X, and everyone's like, I need to see Pearl now because apparently that's the prequel
I
or
don't
something
want
like
to
that.
say Pearl. Yeah.
No?
So I saw X2. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I like that one.
it's like this. Oh, we have to understand it's like a throwback to like old exploitation porno.
It's
Horror.
like an old 80s slasher kind of
80s
thing. And I
slasher.
love slasher movies.
Yeah.
So this one is obviously my
Kind
number
of.
6.
Okay. Yeah, I could totally get it. Do you have a number 6?
No, I started at 5.
Okay, we'll move into 5 right now.
Number 5.
So, my number 5 is The Menu. I highly recommend you go out and see this. I like for treats and special occasions. I love going out to fancy restaurants with my girl and like tasting the food and getting the whole experience and the ambiance and that whole foodie culture. And I think this horror it's not really a comedy. It's more like a dark comedy. I mean, there's some comedic elements in it, but this was a horror film that was done pretty well. Directed by Mark Malloy, written by Seth and Will Tracy, and story by Will Tracy. And of course, you got Anna Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes. But just an evening with this fucking executive chef and his almost cult-like following of all these sous chefs and line chefs, and they're like making all these dishes. And so as you're going along through each of the dishes, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? You've seen the trailer. I'm not gonna try to ruin too much for you, but it gets wilder and wilder, and turns into kind of like a horror slasher thing, and you got to figure out what you can do before the final act and before dessert, shall we say. So very, very. Hey, John Leguizamo's in it too. I didn't expect him to be in it, but yeah, just well directed, and really hit it on a little niche that I enjoy. So, like the Menu. What about you?
My number 5 is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I love Nick Cage being Nick Cage once again, and Pedro Pascal. Their chemistry was great. This movie had me laughing, and I didn't expect much from it, and just rose to the top. I liked it. It's a good comedy action, and it's fun.
Oh my God, Joe, that's a 2022 film? Son of a bitch. Okay, well, I forgot about that one because that one would definitely make my top 5. I think that I'm going to push everything down one and stick that one at number 4.
It's still funny. I watched it again.
Yeah, it is still funny.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, just, oh man, the rapport, there was chemistry, there was rapport. Nick is killing it. I fucking love that film
Not
too.
that we ever went anywhere.
Yeah.
Alex?
My number 5 is The Batman. So this, we've rebooted Batman. They're trying to do their own thing, and I think they did a pretty damn good job. I've always wanted to see the great detective version of Batman. I don't think I got it here, but it was really close. And other than a couple things, I think this was a solid start. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Now, this was a year that I was going through the list. It's like, I haven't seen half of these movies. I think for whatever reason, like we were doing so much TV stuff that I missed a lot of stuff in the theaters.
We did do a lot of streaming this year.
Yeah. And so, like, I missed a lot of movies, but, the Batman I was surprised by how much I liked it.
Okay, yeah. Now, okay, so just so you know, Avatar dropped off. Okay, I replaced Avatar with Unbearable Weight, but Unbearable Weight's at number 5 because Joe is a smart man. Okay, moving on to number 4. This is my most controversial pick.
Number 4.
And I probably would actually put it below the massive weight. What is it? Unbearable
weight of
Unbearable
massive.
weight.
The unbearable weight of massive talent. I would put it below that. But here was originally on my list at number 4, and it is Men. This is the film that Joe and Alex thought went way too far, was gross,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's like,
understand
I know
it.
what it is.
I love all the themes. I thought the themes were well executed. I thought the gross out moment in that Act 3 was just getting wilder and wilder, and I just love it when these indie type horror films start to spin out of control. And I'm already a fan of kind of these A24 things a lot more than I think Alex and Joe is. And this is another one that really hit it for me, hit on a lot of the tones. was well directed, had great atmosphere. It was super creepy with an undertone of danger at all time. And yeah, super good. Great performance with Jesse Buckley and Rory Kinner. And it was directed by Alex Garland. So I'm looking forward to more from them because I thought very, very well executed. This one got nominated for several British Independent Film Awards and won for some best effects and joint lead performance and things like that. So, and this one had a budget of 11 million, and it made let's see. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, well I'll find it here, and you go on to your number 4.
My number 4 is the Batman. Robert Pattinson. I love him as an actor, and he did a great job as Bruce Wayne.
All
Well,
right.
as Batman, not really. We didn't get to see
Yeah,
too
he's
much of
sleeping
Bruce
during-
Wayne,
Bruce, yeah,
so we'll
okay.
see how he does in the next one. But that's my number 4 Batman.
My number 4, we swapped, is the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Just absolutely love this one. I have actually watched this one multiple times. This is one when people came over. I paid money to like stream it at home because I wanted people to watch it. It was just super fun. It was a movie that didn't take itself super seriously. The relationship between the two lead actors was fantastic. And I don't know. I was expecting nothing, and they gave me almost everything. So it's like it had to be high on my list.
Definitely. I found the numbers for men, so just to double check. Box office 11 million, worldwide gross 11 million. So I don't think we'll be seeing a sequel.
Men's.
And it shows, and it's men's, and it shows you. But it's a self-contained story. It doesn't need a sequel, and doesn't make me like it any less. But yeah, the weight of massive unbearable talent would be at number 4 for me as well. But okay, moving on to number 8. What film should you go out and see? Or number 8. Number 3.
Number 3.
Maybe another controversial pick from me, but I really liked Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This was directed by Sam Raimi, written by Michael Waldron, and of course starring all of our, Marvel heroes: Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Owen, a bunch of other people. And I liked seeing something slightly different in the MCU with a different tone, because in the MCU things got a little stale and by the numbers and predictable, and this one actually went hard, and surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, it did really well at the box office, like more than people thought. It is $1 billion in the box office. Is 955, and and it's real close on a budget of 170 million. So people were high on it. They wanted to see, what is this? Scarlet Witch is gonna go crazy. Are we gonna do the multiverses? Is MCU the first time we see that? And we got Zombie Strange. We got all sorts of stuff in American. Chavez jumping between the universes. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting to me. And, Phase 4 of the MCU has been kind of weak. I think it's Phase 4, and then we're moving into Phase 5. But I liked this one for that one. So that's my number 4. What's yours?
Everything, Everywhere,
Or
all
number
at
3.
once.
Sorry.
Yeah, Everything, Everywhere, all at
right.
once. I liked it. It was just crazy, over the top fun. It had like some sentimental moments with your family and stuff like that, and the hot dog fingers are forever gonna be stuck in my head now.
Gross. And they're like
It's
caressing
so
each
funny
other.
and it's crazy. It was great. It was good fun.
Yeah, that one was actually, so that's also my number 3. That was the multiverse movie that I would never have bet that I liked more than Doctor Strange, and I did.
Ding, ding. We have a number 3 match.
Yeah, and so it's like that one is, I really, really enjoyed it. There was a lot of really great performances. There's some wacky stuff in there, but I was along with them pretty much the entire time, so.
Yeah, all right, my number 2.
Number 2.
Is going to go to The Batman. Okay, so you had it at number 5, I had it at number 2. I was really struggling. Do I make Batman number 1 or number 2? It honestly can go either way. And I had a lot of fun with it. I think Robert Pattinson did better than I thought he would. I agree, the Bruce Wayne's not quite there, but maybe we'll see some more of that in the future. He is a younger Batman, but just the maturity, the multi-layered, the complex. I just like the way Miller has gone about his version of Batman. Just excellent. Just completely unrecognizable. Colin Farrell as Penguin just did amazing. Like totally assumed full on the Penguin. Couldn't even recognize him. Loved the new Batmobile. Just everything about the film. And it was long. It was long as fuck. And I think the only part that really didn't like hit it for me, hit it as hard as it hit everything else, was the Catwoman. I'm not really, and so I think that if Catwoman had nailed it more, it could be number one for me. But it's number two, and it's one of the elements in the film that really didn't hit as hard. And then I also think, like, I haven't seen it again, but my memory serves for it. Did Joker show up in it? There's Joker in it, right?
Yeah, for like 5
I
seconds.
think that was right, and that's what I thought was unnecessary. Or it was like, is that the thing I was watching online? Because then they later released more Joker bit online, and I just thought that was unnecessary to include at that in an already massive story and multi-layered and complex story. But if this is what we were going to get with more Batman, I was definitely on board. I think we all enjoyed it, and we were looking forward to seeing a trilogy. I think they've already greenlit a trilogy. Regardless, this film did so well, and it was so good that it is ignoring the DCU, James Gunn's DCU, and just marching forward. And they're calling it Elseworlds. But honestly, who's to say James Gunn shit ain't Elseworlds and this Matt Miller? Because who knows? Man, I want to see his take on Superman now. No. All right. Anyway, so I really like Batman at number 2. What's your number 2?
The Menu is my number 2. I think Chef fucking killed it. Ralph, some with an F.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. He fucking killed it. I loved it. The humor was like dark humor was great. The story just was very compelling. I was along for the ride all throughout, and I fucking thought it was great. The ending, satisfying.
Yeah, it's good to see a horror movie work, right?
Yeah, it's like this is how you're supposed to write a horror story. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's also my number 2. You know, I absolutely.
Ding ding. We got a match.
You know, it's a good. I think it's a dark comedy, and I think they nailed it. Like the characterization of all of the worst people in the restaurant industry, and it was just. It hit on a different level for me just a little bit, and I really, really liked it. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it.
Okay, now we are at number 1.
Number 1.
My favorite film of 2022.
Everyone's.
Did we get a triple ding?
Yeah, probably.
Top Gun Maverick. Just what a fucking crowd pleaser.
Yep.
This had such a build up to it where it's like, they're going to fuck it up. Why are we rolling people out, geriatrics and wheelchairs 30 years later? No, we're not doing this.
You can't do Tom Cruise again. Come
It
on.
fucking
Can't
blew
do
it
it.
away. It's better than the first film.
By a lot.
By a lot, says Alex, and he's right. It's difficult to watch the first film these days and try to get through it. Just amazing the way that they filmed it, the dedication of Tom Cruise to the role, how exciting it was, just making jet fighting. So many pilots joined the motherfucking Air Force and Navy afterwards to be pilots, and I'm sure it's inspiring a new generation of people to get up in there, even though it's sad that things are going the way of drones, But please, God, don't do a third one, right? What would they do for a third one? It would probably have to do with maybe drones taking over and Tom Cruise has to outmaneuver computers and shit. But I just think that would be too much. I think this was lightning in a bottle. You actually fucking surpassed it. And now anytime somebody talks about what's a sequel that's better than the original, you said like Terminator 2, you could still argue on that. Aliens, you could still argue on that. Top Gun, you cannot argue on that. I think Top Gun Maverick is better than Top Gun. What did y'all got? What's your number 1, Joe?
Maverick. Top Gun. These tense scenes, it's just like action-packed, and I didn't think Tom Cruise was gonna be like, "No, I don't want to see this guy."
He did a
again."
sprinting.
But
He did the thing where he runs as fast as he
He
can.
did everything
Yeah, he
for
did
us.
everything. Yeah.
I wish I could be like him at his age.
Yeah.
I think I could do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was a summer blockbuster. It is dumb fun, but it's done so well that I've never met anyone that's like, I really didn't like that movie. Everyone at least kind of liked it,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was a perfect summer blockbuster, so hard to beat.
Yeah, in agreement, guys. So that's our list. I fucked mine up because I forgot one of the most important films, and it sucks too because I actually have the hat and the
You have the
glasses.
pillow and
yeah,
stuff,
they
too.
sent us. I was like, how did they even get our address? They just sent it to us. So I can't believe I forgot that one. It fucked up my whole order. Maybe I'll get the right order and I'll put it down in the comments as a pinned comment below. Those are our top 10 best movies of 2022. If you haven't seen any of those, we're pretty damn sure you're going to have fun with any of them. Go out and see them. If you have seen them, discuss them down below. Put your list. I want to see. Maybe there's some movies we missed. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.